An interview with Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov on the birth anniversary of Gennady Zyuganov, Moscow, June 26, 2024. Question: what traits in Mr. Zyuganov's disposition have made him a prominent and popular politician? Sergey Lavrov: I could enumerate them for long, but the main thing is that Mr. Gennady Zyuganov, this outstanding politician and statesman of modern-day Russia, is a real patriot. He is consistent and true to his principles in his postures, actions, and judgments. He has never concealed them or wavered in his political beliefs for the sake of some immediate gain. We can recall the 1990s, when he urged to restore Russia's independence in international affairs. In the final analysis, his ideas evoked a powerful response from Russian society. Following Vladimir Putin's accession to power, they have become the basis of Russia's foreign policy. Gennady Zyuganov is a well-educated person and author of numerous articles, books, and publications. He generously shares his talents and abilities with younger generations. He is the leader of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, CPRF, the oldest party of modern Russia, which also devotes much attention to working with young people. The party helps them achieve new successes professionally and politically. And this deserves much respect. Mr. Zyuganov is a team player. An important feature that distinguishes him is his toughness in defending positions of principle, combined with a propensity to look for agreements. I wish Gennady Zyuganov health, continued political and public work with the same vigor and energy, and as many devoted supporters as possible. Question: Mr. Zyuganov often acts as an intermediary in international negotiations. We saw him with Xi Jinping, Alexander Lukashenko, and previously with Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, and Fidel Castro. How can he mix well with so many different people? Sergey Lavrov: we have a long-standing tradition of inter-party cooperation. We promote it even today, in present-day Russia. This initiative comes from the political parties themselves, but the Foreign Ministry and the government of the Russian Federation provide large-scale support to these contacts. Multilateral events are held, too. On February 15-16 or this year, the United Russia Party sponsored the International Forum of Supporters of the Struggle Against Modern Practices of Neocolonialism, attended by all parliamentary parties. President of Russia Vladimir Putin increasingly often focuses on this important topic as he analyzes current international developments. The CPRF has agreements-based direct party ties with the Communist Party of China in parallel with identical ties established between the United Russia Party and the CPC, as well as the Communist parties of foreign countries, including Western ones. The CRRF maintains close, trust-based contacts with these. We welcome Mr. Zyuganov's focus on strengthening Russia's international positions, which he also helped to promote back in the 1990s. He engages in this work despite being busy at home. This is standing in good stead to Russian diplomacy. Classical, party, and parliamentary. Parliamentarians have always given us much help. Question: is it of any help to the Foreign Ministry that politicians also handle international contacts? Sergey Lavrov: as I said earlier, this helps us very much. Question: you have a fine sense of humor, as your foreign colleagues, among others, have repeatedly noted. Can Gennady Zyuganov do with a joke or two now and then? Sergey Lavrov: yes, we often did that, if we had some free time in between events. Question: sharing jokes? Sergey Lavrov: in different ways. Jokes, observations. Question: is a sense of humor of help in politics? Sergey Lavrov: a sense of humor is always of help. People with no sense of humor are in for a sad fate in diplomacy and politics. Question: in 1996, you served as the Russian ambassador to the United Nations and were watching the developments in Russia from the United States. That year was a turning point in many respects. Boris Yeltsin clashed with Gennady Zyuganov. Many people were displeased with the presidential election returns and urging Zyuganov to call on his supporters to take to the streets. But he didn't do that. What was this process like to you? Sergey Lavrov: it was not as vivid and dramatic from where I was as something seen with one's own eyes. But the drama was there all right. However, we were thinking about the current proceedings, including those at the Security Council and the General Assembly. We appreciated Gennady Zyuganov's decision not to yield to those provocative appeals. This was yet another confirmation of his status as a responsible statesman and politician, as distinct from certain figures in neighboring countries, where color revolutions flare up at regular intervals, with local politicians not averse to stoking tensions, even if conscious that this is fraught with civilian casualties. This is sad. One feels an immense respect for Gennady Zyuganov, who, though having an incontestable edge over his rival following the first round of presidential election, refused to promote his political career by unconstitutional methods. God bless Gennady Zyuganov and let him pass his invaluable experience to new generations of Russian politicians. Each political party can borrow something from the CPRF program and practical steps.